Welcome to the House that Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday afternoon, wherever you guys are at. Before we go any further, y'all know the routine. Those new in here, I'm going to learn you real quick. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. We do have our presser. It's supposed to start in about 15 minutes, our weekly Aiden O'Connell and Davante Adams press conference. We are doing the simulcast. We are on Facebook, we're on X, and we're on TikTok as well. So for those that are on the TikTok spectrum, those that are on X, those are on Facebook, come on over to YouTube, Raider Nation News today. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing. Salute to those in the chat right now. I see we got Dominique 5, Big Mo, Jersey, Lou Molina, James, True Raider. I want to just say IK Raider. I don't want to butcher it. True Raider salute. Let's get this chat highlight up and going for you guys. Give me 1 second. Wrong one. I think it's the wrong one. Hold on, guys. Let's get this going. And oops, that's not it. Shit. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry about this. I came in, I saw I got the alert, so I was like, okay, I guess we're going live now. So, you know how that goes, but I think we're good now. Let's make sure this is on the up and up. There we go. For life, our Raider story, the new 3K club. Salute. R for life, what's good? Carrie, what's good? Oakland fan, what's good? Salute to all of y'all. Let me see, am I missing anything else? I don't think I am. Well, yeah, the presser itself. I got to get that up for you guys. And sorry for the dead air again. Where is their... I don't even see their thing right now for this. And I did see it before. Let me see if it's here. Yep, here we go. So we should be good as soon as that starts. It's showing the countdown now, 12 minutes away from the start of the presser. Let's get the other one up from earlier today. We could actually play a little bit of Antonio Pierce's presser from earlier this afternoon. And then we have some other things we're going to talk about around the league as well. And maybe we will hear from you guys at some point also. But let's see. Live.
Yeah, we'll be outside. Y'all gonna come watch us practice?
All right, here we go. Here's Antonio Pierce from earlier this afternoon.
On a rainy day, too. Yeah, we'll be outside. Y'all gonna come watch us practice outside? Shit, we indoors. Yes, sir.
When you get to the end of the line on a season like this, and it's it's going to be the last game, what's typical of how a team approaches that?
Well, I know how we're gonna approach it. We're gonna finish. We're going to play our best football. We're going to be excited. We're going to have passion. We're going to have pride. We're going to have poise. And we're going to let it hang out. We're going to let it loose. We're going to have fun. We're going to play good football.
You're early in the film study. What are the biggest differences that you've noticed from the Broncos week 1 and now week 18 finishing against the same team you started against?
Defensively, they're playing really well. They're playing really well defensively. And I think offensively, obviously, there was a change of quarterback. But you see a team that's being physical up front. We know Stidham very well. Obviously, there's some things there that he's doing really well that he did well last week. And I think overall as a team, they've gotten better. It was a team that was, oh my God, what's happening to them, and now they're playing really good football.
AP, you've never had anything given to you. You've earned and worked for everything you had. And I know that you're staying focused on the team, but you also have ears. Your players have come out very supportive of you wanting you to get the job. I'm just curious, what does that respect from that locker room mean to a guy who was always known as a locker room guy as a player?
Yeah, you earn respect, right? It's not given, you earn it, and obviously I'm still in that process of earning their respect. And at the end of the day, like I said, they'll show and I'll show what we do on the grass. That's the bottom line. That's what we're all being evaluated on, what we do on Sundays, on game day. And I appreciate their support, and, we'll let the chips fall where they fall at the end of the season.
From the spot you came before you were in, have you learned anything more about Max Crosby that you already didn't know?
He's really, 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 really good. I wish obviously our season went a little bit better because, guys that get the awards in the season, they're probably on playoff teams, right? And, I don't think it can go unsaid that, he should be mentioned as one of the best defensive players in football and should be nominated for that award. And if he gets it, I don't know. But when you watch a defensive end and defensive player play every snap, the way he plays, full blown gas, all he has, leaving it out there, that's impressive. You don't see that a lot, especially when football players tap out more than often.
What's your evaluation of Aiden since he became the starter?
I think he's got better each and every week. I think there's been some good, there's some bads. I think one thing he's really done a good job of the last couple weeks is taking care of the football.
Josh Jacobs, I know last couple games he's been trying to give it a go before kickoff. Is it more of a situation, has he been medically cleared yet, or is it just a pain tolerance?
I think it's just him fighting through it. I mean, it's one of those deals with the quad and I'm not a medical guy. If he's not able to go full strength, there's no need to put him out there and risk further injury. And I know him, he's going to fight again all the way to the end. So to answer that question, we're going to be day to day, and then we'll see on game day. But, just like last week, we go out there and he gives it a try. If it's good, he goes. If it's not, he does not.
When you were a player, when did the emotions start to hit in when you realized that it was the last week of the season and everyone in that locker room right now is not going to be in the locker room next season?
Yeah, I mean, I never knew when I was going to retire. So I played every game like, it was my last anyway. So it didn't matter if it was the first or the last. So I expect our guys to do the same. That's what I talked to them about. Everything's going to come to the end. And hopefully you like to be in that game in the Super Bowl, right? In Vegas. That's not going to happen this year for us. But what we do going forward is very important. And that's not just for the Raiders, it's for us individually as well. Your resume is each and every week. You get paid to play 17 games in an 18-week season, and that's what we'll do.
How valuable has this experience been for you the last couple of months, and what your appetite on wanting to do this now full time?
Yeah, you always want more. You want more. But learning, humble, honored. You understand the peaks and the valleys. As a player, you learn it more as a head coach. But I think one thing you do is you appreciate the people that you work with each and every day. And that's one thing that I've come to understand a little bit more and appreciate a little bit more, of not taking it for granted, which I haven't, and just being thankful for the opportunity.
Coach Pierce, what do you make of what goes through your mind? What do you make of it when you hear this is such a sought after, head coaching job, and there's other big names being reported and thrown around there? What goes through your mind when you hear about that?
Why wouldn't it be? It's the Raiders we're talking about. Best of the best.
Do you said it's looked a certain way, the way you've won as head coach. Is that
Absolutely.
Is that just as important to you that there's other coaches that may be able to also win here like you can, but that you do it the Raider way? And
I'll let people that write kind of judge that. I know my style, my identity that I'm looking for, the product that we want to put on the field, and again, that's something that you want to grow on and continue to grow. But I'll leave all that for discussion for everybody else.
Raylan Edwards told me you taught him to always be learning, and that you helped him mature and grow into the man he is. I'm curious, what have you learned over the last 9 weeks about Antonio Pierce?
Patience. Stay true to yourself. Don't change because somebody's opinion or what they think is right. Go with your gut. I mean, there's a reason I was put in this position by Mr. Davis. Obviously, he felt good about it at the time to do it. And I know who I am and what I believe in and how football looks. I know what it takes to win. I know what it looks like to win. And to me, just staying true to that.
You mentioned the name Jared Stidham earlier with respect to this matchup, and obviously he's somebody that has had a history with this team. When you see the locker room and the buzz kind of surrounding that, is it different in their approach than it would be if it were Russell Wilson, or you look at it the same?
Yeah, that's kind of hard to talk about the locker room. I really don't know. I mean, I'm sure, there was a little spark there last week, but I can't really go into detail about that locker room. I'm sorry.
Just in general, the players kind of get up differently for somebody with more familiarity, especially someone who was here last year.
Oh, for our guys, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. We're excited. Yeah, we're excited to see him. Yeah. We miss him. We want to see him up close and personal. Max Crosby.
What spark did Max provide? You were talking about him as well. Like when they had the long touchdown last week, and Max kind of gathered all the defensive players around on the sideline. Like, how does that help you as a coach, having a player that kind of gets that spark?
I love it. I've always loved to see the players take control, especially on game day. When they're between the white lines and in control. Obviously, as coaches, we're getting information that they need to either fix a play or continue to do better. And when there's a problem or you feel a certain way, and as a captain, as a leader in the face of this organization, it was really it was a proud moment for me to see, because I was talking to Spill and I was wondering why I was getting pulled away. You know, he told me, get the F away. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I did something wrong, but he gathered the troops and they had their conversation, which, is really good to see. And, you like to see that amongst your whole team, offense, defense, special teams. But obviously from a guy like Max, who's young, and obviously he's grown into be a really, really good football player, but also a really good leader in the man.
Patrick Graham got emotional. He said this was his funnest team he's ever been around and coached. And I'm just curious for you, is that emotion there with you as you come to the end of this season? I mean, where have you thought of these guys? You've been on so many teams.
Yeah, I mean, I love football, right? This is my first love, is football. And you love being around the guys, you love being in the locker room. That's why you come back. As a former player, you want to be back in the locker room. You want to be back around the coaching staff. You want to be in meetings like this. You want to be on the grass. You want to be on these wet, rainy days and outside playing football. Because once it's gone, and I never take it for granted. And what does it mean for me? Is it emotional? No, because I never took it for granted. Each and every day, each and every moment, I sit there and I embrace, and, I look up in the skies and, thank the people that have been there for me, and my mother and my grandmother and people like that are not here. So, man, I love it. It's almost like the last days of school, and that last week, you're like, man, come on, and you realize you don't see your buddies no more for the summer, right? And you're going to see them again later in spring. And that's the kind of feeling. I told our guys, look, let's have fun doing it. Let's embrace and love one another, dap each other up these last couple of days, and go out there and put a show on Sunday.
On November 1st, you and Champ sat up here and sent a message to Raider Nation about being there for that Giants game, and you wanted to see Allegiant Stadium packed. What would you send message to Raider Nation right now for Week 18, where they might be a little down because the season didn't go the way that they wanted?
Well, I don't think they'll be down. I think they're excited. I'm excited. They should be excited by watching our team play, because they haven't quit. Each and every quarter, each and every game, they've given it their best and their all. So no, it's not a disappointment. We'll see you again, and we'll see them on Sunday, and they'll be loud, and we'll hopefully put on the show, and they'll be cheering, and that bad boy be rocking and rolling again, because that's what we want Allegiant Stadium to be like.
Antonio, a couple of years ago, Hunter Renfrow was a 100-catch guy. Last couple of years, it hasn't worked out to that extent for him. Do you feel like there's still a place for him in the NFL to be a highly productive player? I
mean, he's still a Raider, so he's still got a place here. I think it's been obvious since I've taken over what I thought of him and the opportunities that he's having and given. And he's making the most of them. I mean, there's some really good moments there, but he's an NFL caliber wide receiver. He's a starting receiver. He's a really good football player. And we'll see what the future holds.
That's good.
Cool.
So that was head coach Antonio Pierce from earlier this afternoon. I do believe that Tom Coughlin is an offensive-minded head coach, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, he's definitely been getting some advice from his former head coach. And I'm here for it, man. Like, he's got guys from his past throughout his career that he still has these relationships with, guys that he's had in the headquarters, to give advice and also help along with some of the coaching staff that we already have as well. So I love everything he said. Yes, I do hope that Allegiant is packed, silver and black, the entire stadium this weekend. I know it's rough that we had a chance. We still had hopes. We still had the opportunity to potentially get in the playoffs, but things didn't pan out the way that they were supposed to for us on Sunday. We still need to finish on a positive note. We already do have a better record than we did last season with an interim head coach who took over, and these players love him. These players rallied around him, and they did everything they could to try to succeed and even give Raider Nation hope at the opportunity of the playoffs. But again, it is what it is at this point. We go in, final game of the season for us, at home against AFC West rival, the Denver Broncos, who have not beat the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's make it 8 straight and just, again, let Mad Max get in Stiddy's face. Let's see Kuntz get in Stiddy's face. Let's see Tyree Wilson. Let's see Spillane, anybody and everybody on that defense get in Stiddy's face this coming Sunday. Shout out to Ghostmaster. Graf will be live for the game. He will be doing the live play-by-play. I will not be live for the game. Putting it out there now. I will not be live for the watch party, but he should be live. I would hope Graham would pass on that. Graham would pass on what? Graham would pass on what? Oh, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Bro is in the chat. Salute to Graph, OLV Raiders Network. If you're not subscribed, I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. Wipe them feet, hit that subscribe button for him. And you know over here, you know how we do it. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash a bell. We are waiting for the Davante Adams and Aiden O'Connell weekly Wednesday presser. But until then, let's talk more about it. Again, there is some stuff that happened around the league between yesterday and today. The most recent one is today. Wide receiver of the Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill's home was on fire earlier this afternoon. This was reported from ESPN. He is safe. His family, his wife, his kids, they are safe. I didn't really get to see much about it, but apparently the firefighters appeared quickly at his residence and did everything to put it out. But definitely thoughts, prayers, strength, and faith with him, his family during this time right now. It's definitely a difficult situation, and I can tell you that this firsthand. So thoughts and prayers with him and his family right now. On another note, yesterday, Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show, and we know Aaron Rodgers is the type of guy that can just say really outrageous things, and this one was way, way, way over the top. He pretty much has stated or has accused late night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel of being one of these people that are on this Jeffrey Epstein list. Jimmy Kimmel has fired back and pretty much has threatened to sue him over the claims if he ever opens his mouth and says some reckless shit like that again. And this definitely is something that really can cause a lot of problems, not just for the person being accused of being part of such a despicable human being in Jeffrey Epstein, but this could affect his family. This could affect people close to him. Like, you have these people that will fly, or not fly, but people that will latch on to the words of certain people, and it will cause a problem. This can be something that could be harmful to not just Jimmy Kimmel, but those close to him. So for Aaron Rodgers to say some things like that is incredibly reckless. There's really no coming back from making a really outrageous accusation like that. And again, dude has nothing better to do since he can't play football right now. So now he'll sit there on his best friend's show and make some really disparaging, disgusting comments. So realistically, we've talked about this for the last couple of weeks as ESPN Radio New York is on this bandwagon that Davante Adams is going to the Jets. It's not happening. And for you guys to let Aaron Rodgers do what he did on that show, and it's an ESPN show, like, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves as well for that bullshit. Anyways, no receipts, I'm suing. There you go. Kimmel is a punk, period. I'm not, look, we're not going to go into, we're not doing politics. We're not doing any of that extra shit. It's just NFL news that has been out for the last 24 hours. So let's not go into the back and forth. And because you guys know one thing when it comes to me, my channel, and in life in general, I don't like politics. I don't talk about politics. I'm not about that shit in any way, shape, or form. So let's move on from that. Thank you, Ghost. Hammer feels like 50-50 raise for a head coach between Pierce and Harbaugh. Yeah, shout out to Richard Hardy. Yeah, it does seem that way right now. And a lot of people are on board now for Harbaugh, especially with the win that they had the other night over Bama. They are going on to the national championship game next week against Washington. Anything's possible at this point in time. I know who I want my head coach to be, and that is Antonio Pierce. Listening to him again, like, anytime I hear this guy talk, I want to run through a wall for him. Real talk. Dude is definitely what a head coach is, what a head coach should be, and that's a leader of men, and he is that guy. He was a leader in his locker room throughout his professional career in the NFL. He coached on various levels and is now here as an interim head coach at the best, at the top level, at the elite level of being a football coach. He is a head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders right now. He absolutely deserves his opportunity, and I've said this for weeks now. He should absolutely be locked in for 2-3 years. Champ Kelly, I want you as a GM as well. Mark Davis, you watch us from what I understand. Please make these things happen. Raider Nation has rallied around your decision-making over these last few weeks, especially appointing Antonio Pierce as our interim head coach. and we love it. We're here for it, and we think that the best is yet to come with him as our head coach. So please, if you're watching, please keep AP and keep Champ Kelly. Let me see. Let's see if I'm missing anybody in here right now. And again, we're still waiting for the start of this presser. It should be starting. What time is it now? It actually should have started. So you know how they go. We're just waiting for AP to get to the podium. They don't even have the rotating shield up right now, which is kind of a shock. Let me just refresh just to make sure. Yeah, it says it's supposed to start at 4:45, but nothing yet. So let's see. AP is a Raider. He embodies a Raider pride. It's a fact. So is Champ. Madden was our linebackers coach once upon a time. Talk that shit. AP is the man, no one else. Hammer, I hope Mark Davis makes the correct choice. My opinion, Pierce is a guy. I hope he listens to us. And your lips to God's ears. I hope so as well. I don't know what that is. Oh, yeah. By the way, again, for those that are coming in, welcome. We are doing a simulcast. We're on X, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, of course, and we're on TikTok. So shout out to those on TikTok. Come on over. Those on X, those on Facebook as well. Come on over to YouTube, Raider Nation News Today. Hit that subscribe button. You see where we're at right now, 7411. We're on the road to 8K. Honest to God, if I was able to hit 8K by this Sunday's game, there would be a very special giveaway. But I don't know how realistic it is that we hit 8K by Sunday, but it doesn't hurt to try, right? We will be back on tonight as well. No, I'm not going anywhere, but we will be live again tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Special edition of Vault Talk. We are going to have a guest on. It's a mystery guest, y'all. So you guys want to know who it is, pull back on up, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific to find out who it is. Definitely think it's going to be a good show, though. You guys are not going to want to miss it. I don't think you guys are going to be disappointed. Salute to the two-time champ himself is in the building, Desert Raider, our 2-year pigskin pick'em winner. Dude, I don't know how you do it, especially when it comes to me knowing football the way I know it. Bro, congratulations again, man. Let's see. Wipe those feet. In here, bro, we break them thumbs. But yeah, let's throw it up on the screen real quick. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash a bell. Hammer, you're spot on. Listening to AP's presser has actually been worth the listen compared to the past coaches we've had. No, absolutely. And I love hearing him talk. I really do. I really do. What we need to upgrade for O-line next season, draft, and maybe one in the free agency. But I'm looking at trying to make a big splash, and the big splash will probably be on defense, preferably the defensive interior line, Chris Jones or even Leonard Williams, and then we let the draft handle the rest. Again, $5 million is being allocated to the draft. As it stands right now, we just have 7 picks, and that's 1 in each round. But I think it's going to be more drafting, offensive line, quarterback, I'm hoping as well, a quarterback that could be the franchise for us moving forward, but we'll see. Raider Johnny, what's good, man? Daniel, what's good? No, it's not. It's not, Lux. No, it's not. You guys can attempt to guess, but I don't think any of you guys are going to figure out who it is. I really don't. I got people on TikTok trying to get me to battle. I don't do that battle crap. No disrespect. AP reminds me of Madden. Okay. Old man. No, it's not. Look, I'm going to put it out there now. I'm not giving you guys names, but I will say it is not a member of Mount Shieldmore. That's what I'm going to say. Jim will divide the locker room. We won't be ourselves for sake. He wears black Air Forces. That's a Raider. AJ, talk that shit, bro. This is a year to trade up. Penix, please. Talked about that last night. I'm still excuse me, guys. I'm still kind of on the fence, but at the same time, like if I had my choice right now, it would be between Penix and it would be between Bo Nix. Like I talked about Bo Nix. This was a guy that I was watching his previous 2 seasons at Oregon. I really didn't get the opportunity to watch him that much this year, but Penix, to me, Penix and Nix are those guys. So you give me a 1A or a 1B, I think Penix would be 1A for me. I'm still concerned in regards to the knees and also a lefty. we have a lefty, we're definitely going to have to find a legitimate beast at right tackle moving forward to protect our lefty's blind side. So we shall see. Marquette King? No. And I'm hoping that I actually have the chance to see him this weekend, but no, it's not Marquette King. Hammer, don't we have around 60 to 7 in free agency money? Okay. We have $52 million in available cap space. You allocate 5 to the draft, that puts us at $47 million. That's why I'm saying right now, we make one big splash, and that could be a guy like maybe Chris Jones. Chris Jones, is going to be commanding a very high amount. You saw how he didn't show up the first couple of weeks of the season. Then they gave him a little bit of extra money. I'm thinking roughly $25 to $28 million a year for him, and that's no cap in any way, shape, or form. I do think that we probably will do that. And again, we'll be at 47. So somebody do the math for me because I don't have a calculator in front of me. But 47 minus 28, what does that put that? Where does that? Someone let me know where that puts us. And depending on what we do have left over, consider in bringing back Josh Jacobs. It puts us at 19. Okay, so I'll spend another 10 on JJ. 10 to 11 max on JJ. Would you guys do that? Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Thumbs up or thumbs down if you would do something like that. Trade for Aaron Donald, I'm sorry. You guys let me know in the chat, would you do it? I do think JJ stays, no Zeus season. I would much rather see a two-headed monster in JJ and Zeus. No way, I just call wasted. Holy shit, my bad, Hammer. Oh my God. Yeah, it's all good, bro. Shout out to Raider Johnny Espinosa. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber, by the way. 7413. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash a bell. Rotating shield is going, so we are waiting for Aiden O'Connell to start this Wednesday weekly presser. Appreciate y'all hanging on out with me. And again, we will be live again at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time as well. Shout out to Hugo Bautista. Shout out to True Raider. Salute to just another DJ, even though he doesn't like my take on that. Bet JJ will take a hometown discount. Hell, Dalvin Cook was released outright. Yeah, he was supposed to be there, and he was not supposed to be there the entire way. We know that Breece Hall was recovering from that ACL injury, and Breece Hall was going to go back to being the dominant back that he's been since he came into the league. But I'm not surprised. But I'll tell you right now, Dalvin Cook is going to be that guy that fucked it up for himself, because I guarantee you he's not going to be a guy that's going to get a bag ever again. That's just my opinion. No, we have Kuntz for one more year, Rob. We have Kuntz for one more year. 8 is the max for running back. We need more positions. So what do you suggest, Patrick B? Because like I said, I think we make that one big splash in free agency, and then I think we build the rest of the way through the draft, because we're just little bits and pieces away. I think that we, realistically, both sides of the ball, I take that back. All three phases of the game, we do have a lot of intricate pieces right now. We have a lot of talent right now. Shit, we still have Jack Jones on a rookie contract. We're good with that. But I still would like to get a corner. I do want a defensive tackle, and I do want some guys to replace. Let's go down the list. I want some guys to replace Amik Robertson, Greg Van Roten, Jermaine Illuminor.
Aiden, I'm curious, your teammates have been very outspoken about AP, with their support of him, their thoughts on him. What would it mean to you to see AP get named the head coach?
Yeah, I think, since I took over and was able to start playing, I think AP has been a huge supporter of mine. And obviously he's a defensive coach, but throughout the game, throughout practice, is, like I said, a constant supporter. So AP has been awesome to me since I've gotten here. Like I mentioned before, during the preseason, he would speak to the rookies before each preseason game, and that had an impact on me before that was kind of my only, interaction with him. It wasn't really any individual before that. So that was really, since I got here, you could tell he loves football. Obviously, his pedigree speaks for himself. So.
You didn't play against them the first time, but what did you learn, I guess, just watching Denver?
Yeah, obviously it feels like a long time ago. A lot has changed, but a division opponent, a really good team with good players at each level that we need to be aware of. So I think we're doing a good job of scouting them, trying to understand who we're playing against this week, and it's going to take a great game for us. They're obviously a good team that's obviously won some games this year, so it's going to take a lot from us.
How important is it for this offense to make a statement in the final game of the year about, because there's so many young guys, just about where the future's going with this offense?
Yeah, I think, for the offense in particular, it's been up and down, of course. 1 week we'll have a good week, and the next we won't execute as well. And so I think we've done a good job of not turning the ball over, and in that aspect we're doing a good job. But I think, like you said, it's going to take hopefully a statement at the end of the year to, give us some momentum. But it's one game at a time, even now. So we're trying to focus on that.
How much have you earned in the time you've been a starter?
A lot. It's the ability to get, I think, practice reps throughout the week is huge. Something I didn't know how valuable that was before I was playing, and then obviously to be out there in the game to, just get out there when the real bullets are flying, I think is huge. And those game reps are priceless, and I think they're very valuable. So I've tried to learn as much as possible. It's been crazy. I've definitely maybe learned more this year in football than a lot of years in the past, but it's been a fun process.
Because so much has changed, both teams personnel-wise, since week one, do you find yourself looking at more recent tape of Denver that's helpful, or do you go back and look at the week one stuff?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both of those things. Obviously, like I said, it was many weeks ago that we played, and tendencies and teams change, even personnel changes throughout the year. But we can still learn a lot from the first game we played of how they like to play certain players or situational football, things like that. So we're trying to use everything we can to our advantage.
Aiden, which quarterbacks at the position do you kind of try to study and pull from, and do you even have time to do that during the season, or is that something you look more towards once the year's over?
Yeah, I think, because of the nature of what we do, I think we watch a lot of film, obviously, about our opponent and the games they've played prior, and so naturally you're watching other quarterbacks play, and so it's fun to watch other guys play and see. Normally we're looking at what has been successful against the team we're going to play, and also what hasn't been, and so even just throughout the week, it's not as much for just entertainment purposes, but more so for studying the opponent. You watch other quarterbacks play, so that is a fun part of what we do. Get to see what other teams are doing, how they attack certain defenses.
I talked to Bo about this yesterday, but you have done a very good job throughout the year progressing and taking care of the football. What are some things that they taught you to help you with that? Because you're a different guy today than you were at the beginning.
Yeah, I think just playing within myself, I think, is the biggest thing. I think, like I said before, the practice reps are extremely valuable. The game reps of, just week to week seeing what windows are open and whether, maybe a little too tight to throw into, and, just trying to put as much as I can in the bank and remember. And I think being able to learn from experiences, even failure sometimes, is super helpful. So you learn, you fail, and you learn, and, normally you try not to make the same mistake twice.
There's a lot of uncertainty about what's going to happen after the season. How do you try to put that to the side and focus on what you have to do?
Yeah, I think I've said it before. I think just each week has so much. It's a busy schedule. There's a lot of studying that I know I have to do to get ready to play the game, and so it's almost a blessing that there's so much that there is to do, because you really can't think of anything else in the future. And so we're going to take it, like I keep saying, one game at a time. I know our guys aren't going to look past this game.
It's easy to say the right things. Everybody's been saying, hey, look, you have 17 games to play.
Still trying to figure out what that bubble is, but I appreciate that.
That carrot of the playoffs not being there anymore is a reality, right?
Yep.
I mean, how do you kind of deal with, we don't have that goal in front of us anymore?
Yeah, it's hard. Obviously, it's a goal. You try to find throughout the season the balance of, looking towards that goal, but also staying present, because, if you don't take care of, business in the short term, in the long term, it won't matter. And so I think for us, it's easy because it's, one last game. We get to truly empty the tank. Last time this team will be together, and so we get to leave everything. We want to, make this our stamp the last time we play together.
Aiden, obviously there's still one game left for you to have to assess it fully, but how have you performed to your expectations? Or could you give yourself a grade on how you feel you've performed in your rookie year?
I don't know if I can give myself a grade. I think there's been, as I've said kind of throughout it, there's been good and bad. I think more so just disappointed that we didn't win more games. I think that's will ultimately be what hurts the most, is not being able to pull out some of the games that I think we could have won. Obviously, we've been in every single game, and so it's been frustrating to not, be able to go win some of those games, even coming down to the last drive. And so that's kind of the scar tissue that hurts. Obviously, we've had some good wins, but yeah, I think the lack of capitalizing opportunities and late drives and stuff like that, I think that's what I'm thinking about the most.
Is it part of that, like a feeling of it was just a play or two here, a play or two there, and it could have been, postseason hopes?
Yeah, I think so. I think, it's easy to look back, right? It's easy to, think about what could have been and what you could have done in each game. And, there's good times to do that, and there's not good times to do that. I don't think right now I'm really doing that. I'm going to wait till after the season to kind of reflect more. But like I said, there's a task at hand that we're trying to accomplish. Thanks, guys. Yep.
All right. So there you guys have it. There was Aiden O'Connell. It's going to be a while before we hear from Davante Adams, but shout out to Sean Johnson in the chat. Penix or Daniels, offensive guard Robert Hunt and Cooper Beebe, running back Blake Corum or Dylan Johnson, defensive tackles Chris Jones or Leonard Williams, and Tavondre Sweat, cornerbacks Jalen Johnson and Josh Newton. Okay. So I'm going to go through a couple of these, and I'll tell you where I'm at, because a lot of these names I've talked about, and I see you also included Bryce Huff and Tommy Eichenberg as well. Bryce Huff, Jalen Johnson, and Chris Jones are guys that we have talked about, and also Robert Hunt. Those are 4 guys. We did a show a couple of weeks ago. It was myself, Wasted, and Graf. We did a show a couple of weeks ago. Pretty much, I'm the one that had to put on my GM hat and figure out what the next moves were going to be. And 4 of those guys that I just mentioned, 4 of the guys that you just mentioned in the chat are guys that we would love to have here. Definitely it would be an incredibly vast improvement on both sides of the ball if we were able to have these guys, but it's also the money that plays the factor in it. And that's why we kind of had to steer away, and we're saying, hey, we may just have $47 million to play around with after allocating for the draft. After allocating for the draft, which is going to be about $5 million, and then trying to figure out what other pieces can we add? Who are we bringing back? Who are we letting go? But I really like the names that you have up there right now, and you even have my boy Tavondre Sweat as a defensive tackle. And somebody asked, do I think Sweat will be there in the second round? Yes. I think the quarterback situation is something that we have to take into high consideration in regards to, is Penix going to be there for us at 14? Or are we going to have to trade up? If we're not going to go the route of Penix or even Nix, who's going to be the next quarterback that's there for us? I heard Stu yesterday talking about JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy, probably a second round pick, and I kind of got kicked off of the cliff for that, but I really do think that J.J. McCarthy, regardless of what he's done, and it's no disrespect to him, but I think that he's probably going to be like an early second round pick. And it's not an insult. It's just a fact of life. Again, we're waiting for Tay. Appreciate y'all in here. We're on X. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on the Tiki-Taki thingy. Salute to those on TikTok. They're tapping the hell out of the likes button. I never do a live on TikTok, and I think it's the most likes I've gotten. We got 1.4K likes on TikTok. But those on the other platforms, come on over to YouTube, Raider Nation News Today. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing. Astemi, we talked about Astemi. I think we had drafted him in one of the mock drafts we did not too long ago. Raider Spade said, I want to trade up in the draft. 3 first round picks to move up. I'm willing to trade. Whoa. We're not bargaining on the future with that many future first round draft picks, bro. I don't see that happening. Man, this offseason is really going to depend on who's the GM and head coach. This roster stays intact with AP and Kelly. Harbaugh and his people might blow it up. And that's my concern right now. That's my number one concern. And shout out to just another DJ. That's my biggest concern right now. These guys, you see what they've done with Champ and AP. They love these guys. They want to play for these guys, and we've seen them ball out. We've had, excuse me, we've had our highs and lows, even over these last couple of weeks. We had an opportunity to get into the playoffs, and it fell short. We didn't play to our best ability, and we can't leave the game, and this is just like a UFC fight, you don't leave the game or you don't leave the fight in the hands of the judges. That's kind of what we did. So, I think 2-3 years for both of these guys, I think we would see an amazing turnaround, a vast turnaround incredibly quickly, because I guarantee you as well, you're going to have free agents that are going to want to come to Vegas now. So we'll see. Got a super chat. Shout out to Jason Hunter, the Demon King. I like Estemi from Notre Dame. Newton, the defensive tackle from Illinois. Nate Wiggins from Clemson. A lot of people have talked about Newton. Newton is the number 1 defensive tackle going into this draft. Sweat is actually number 2. I see Cowtown is in here, and he said Byron Murphy. Yeah, it's kind of a toss-up between Byron Murphy and T'Vondre Sweat. But I see where you're going. He said Penix, Beebe, Ray Davis, Chris Jones, or Byron Murphy, McKinley, Jackson, Josh Newton. Okay. Going to be a trench-heavy draft. Absolutely. It absolutely is. And I'm here for it, man. Salute to everybody over on TikTok. I'm just seeing all these new faces, all these new names in here, and I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Oakland fan, he's going to get his bag this summer. You're talking about Chris Jones? Are you talking about Chris Jones? Hammer, go watch McKinley Jackson's tape. When I get a chance, I will, man. It's been a crazy couple of days, and I still have a lot going on over these next 36 to 48 hours, man. It ain't a toss-up. Sweat's overrated. I don't know what you're watching, brother, and that's no disrespect. Your opinion on Jeremiah Trout, haven't really looked at him. I said this to you guys the other day. I want you guys to hit me up. Like, you see the socials on the bottom of the screen for those that are on the other platforms right now. Follow me. And I want you guys to send me messages. I want you guys to give me some players that I should start looking at film on and give my full assessment. I got no problem doing that. When I have the downtime, I'm more than glad to do that and then revisit the conversation with you guys. So let me know, man. Leftwich for OC. I would not mind that. And that's the first time I've seen somebody bring his name up as an offensive coordinator candidate. I would not mind that. Doesn't say anything about moving out of the pocket. And this is why I want a guy that's more of a mobile quarterback. They're already talking about Kellen Moore as our next OC. Interesting. And I said it last year when he went to LA to become the OC. I thought he was going to presumably be the successor to Staley. But clearly, there's a lot of other rumblings out there, including Harbaugh and Belichick, to potentially be the next head coach for the LA Chargers. And I'm not sure how true any of that is. Next year's QB class is much better than this year. I know Ewers is going to be coming out of that, out of next year's draft class. But I'm also not going to sit here and say I'll wait until 2031 when my cousin comes out. Like, I'm not going to do that. Shout out to Kingston. Love you, kid. Hope all is well. Would Ben Johnson take... No. Apparently he wants, what was it? $25 million a year to be a head coach? He ain't getting that. And if anybody's dumb enough to give him that, put down the pipe. I'll take Moore over Gase for sure. I don't see... Oakland fan, I don't think Gase would come in here as a offensive coordinator, but I could be wrong. But I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know about that. That's another one. This is the first time I'm hearing Gase's name being mentioned as offensive coordinator for us as well. So some names to think about. I might have to put a poll up afterwards and see who you guys would like, and I'll put those names there. Ben Johnson ain't leaving Detroit. Yeah, I don't think so either. Dan Campbell has really turned that franchise around. They just won their first division for the first time in 30 years. Gase is an AP guy. And I get that. I know that. Shout out to Raider Sound, Raider Nation for life. Salute. No, I totally get that. I think Big Bro is actually, one of my Big Bros is going live in 30 minutes. So hopefully Tay gets to this podium as quickly as possible, because I'm not trying to step on toes. We know how that goes here. Shieldmore, we doing a Shieldmore block party again. So Waste is going to be live in another 30 minutes. I will be back on at 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific with a guest. As a head coach, no. I can tell you that. As a head coach, no. I can't tell you about as an OC, but as a head coach, no, he's not. Guyton at right tackle. Why does that name sound familiar? Who is he with now? What kind of draft capital do you think we need to trade to get into the top 5? Carolina would give Johnson that. You know what, Jason? You're 1,000% correct, actually. Their owner throws a drink at a fan and only gets slapped on the wrist with a $300,000 fine. I don't get it. Shout out to Anna. Hello, Happy New Year to you and your chat crew. Appreciate you. Happy New Year to you and the family. Much love. Thank you. It's not true. Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm not highlighting this, but I'm gonna just put it like this. I'd rather shit in my hands and clap, bro. Absolutely not. Nope. We're talking about from Baltimore, but he may get a Brinks truck. But like I said, I think if we're gonna do that, I do think that there's gonna be like maybe one player that we will go all in for, and I think it's gonna be somebody on the defensive interior. I do. I really do. Again, you guys can guess. You guys can try to guess who it's going to be tonight, but I don't think it's anybody you guys are expecting, realistically. I really don't. Oh, the kid out of Oklahoma. I would have to look back at tape on him as well, because look, I'm not a Sooner fan. I hate the Sooners, actually. DT from Miami should be free agent priority. But again, why not a guy like Chris Jones? Why not a guy like Leonard Williams? I think that should be 1A and 1B as a free agent D tackle right now. Why not one of those guys first? Hammer, do you think it matters from a QB or OC standpoint that LSU and Oregon had the number 1 and number 2 ranked offense? No. Because we also have to see the, like, I know it doesn't matter to a lot, but for these scouts and for these GMs and these owners, the combine means something to them. They'll look back at their tape as well. They'll see what their strengths and weaknesses are to really determine. Like I said, Penix and Nix are the guys for me at quarterback right now. Like, we've heard the talks about Justin Fields as well, and I said I wouldn't mind it, but I would still draft a quarterback. But we're still not even out of the season yet, and we're talking about this. Tribal Chief special appearance, yeah, right. Because they're too expensive. Or is it deep defensive? Nah, I think you get the proven vet first, bro. You get the proven vet because you have a guy in Tyree Wilson that's pretty much going to make a living on the interior defensive line moving forward. And that's just my opinion on that. And I do think he is going to have a tremendous sophomore season, especially if his primary is going to be playing defensive tackle. I really do. Stem A Hammer, like that guy too. And Jerzon Newton, Nate Wiggins, good draft. Justin Fields via trade, why not? It all depends, though. Everything has to make sense. Like I said, if the Bears look to value him at a hell of a lot higher than they think, and they want to try to shoot their shot and be like, hey, we'll take your first-round pick for him, I'm not doing it. Second? Yeah. Third? Yeah. Not a first. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think I almost messed up on TikTok. I think I almost lost my people over there. Raider Johnny said, go blue. I will have the opportunity to chop it up with a certain former Wolverine this coming weekend, and I am going to wish him the best of luck. Like, had it been Michigan and Texas, I think I would have tried to talk a little shit, but Washington did their thing. Penix, 430 passing yards. Like, I give credit where credit's due, and they played a hell of a game. It was a close game. It was a back and forth game, but ultimately Washington won. They're going on to the national championship against Michigan. But come next week in Houston, go blue. Shout out to Antonio Martinez on becoming a new subscriber to the channel. Appreciate you. You guys watching the NFL versus Gruden case next week? Look, if I'm home, like if I come home from work and it's still on TV, I might even play it for you guys to hear. Is Epps under contract for another season or a free agent? I think Epps locked in 2 years, I think. I can't remember. He's not going to be a guest on the show, but I will see him this coming weekend. So salute to the GOAT Charles Woodson. Salute to Woodson Whiskey. Best whiskey that's out there. It's no cap. They don't pay me to say that, but it's the only whiskey I can drink. And it is what it is. 2 years for Epps is what he signed. I thought so. You think Jones would cross KC and come to Vegas? Why not? Why not? Can you imagine Tyree and Jones and Mad Max on our D line? And you're forgetting Kuntz. Can you imagine what that D line would be? Can you imagine what type of issues, what type of headaches it would be against opposing offensive lines? Come on, man. Come on. We got people on that other end on TikTok. Go blue. There you go. I'm going back and forth from YouTube to TikTok. Shout out to Raider Johnny, man. Appreciate you, brother. Mad Mafia in the building. Appreciate you, brother. Let me see. Am I missing anybody here? I'm not impressed. Raiders need a slam dunk at QB in the AFC West. Penix ain't it. Like I said, my only concern with Penix is the knees. That's why I feel like I think Nick would be my 1A. Penix would be my 1B. I'm from Ohio and hope. What? I don't know what you meant by that. Some of these Bears said if we wanted to trade for that number 1 pick, we have to give up multiple first rounds and Max Crosby. That wouldn't surprise me at all. They're going to ask for a king's ransom. They would absolutely ask for a king's ransom, and we ain't giving it to them. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. AP fixing to make us look like the 2000 Ravens. Ooh. I don't care what anybody says. The 2000 Ravens defense was the best defense in the history of the NFL. Fight me on that. How good it would feel for CJ to sack Pat Mahomes. Yo, I'd probably fall out of my chair doing the watch party if that happened, man. And you'd probably get the most ridiculous, most wildest celebration that you've ever seen. And I don't mean from me. Like, I'm talking about from Chris Jones. That would be interesting. We're still waiting patiently for Tay. I'm telling you now, if Tay is not here by the time Wasted starts, I'm ending it because I'm not going to step on my big bro's toes while he's got his show going. Like, you guys know I do these weekly pressers, but sometimes it gets dragged out way longer than it needs to. And again, I appreciate all y'all that are in here on whatever platform you're watching. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell. And those on TikTok, just keep tapping that like button. I appreciate y'all over there as well. Catch up with you guys in the chat. Fields for a 3rd round pick, I would do in a heartbeat. So would I. Lakeshore Brady is the best passer, and he has won more than Caleb. If are people still? I'm curious. I'm gonna just ask you guys in the chat. Are you guys still here for Caleb Williams as well? Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the chat. I'm just curious because I feel like not too many people have talked about him, mentioned his name in a good couple of weeks. So let me just see your guys' thoughts on that with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's it. Nope. As of right now, we're going to be screwed with his contract. We'll probably be eating some of Garoppolo's contract as well. Yo, Saragusa was one of the best defensive linemen, and he was such a chill dude. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace to Tony Saragusa. Goose. Why are we so fast to give up on O'Connell? I don't think anybody... All right, so bet. At least I'm going to have this conversation with you because I'm not one that's giving up on Aiden O'Connell first and foremost. Number 2, Aiden O'Connell's going to be with us for the remaining of his rookie contract, and he's only getting about a little over $1 million. We'll go back to that, though. Tays at the podium, guys.
In a week like this, where both teams are eliminated from the playoffs, is this where the term professional comes in terms of how you approach the week of practice and the game on Sunday?
Yeah, just professional pride, all that stuff. Still season, we signed up for a, 18-week season, 17 games, and, we got one more left regardless of the circumstance moving forward, and still got a lot, our name and, our family's name and all the stuff I mentioned before. So still a lot to play for, and, it's our last time together as a unit, this unit in particular. So, it is what it is. Just got to finish as strong as possible.
On the back end of that, how important is it for you to put on a show for the fans? Your home finale. How much is important for you to really put on a good product for them as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, we owe it to them. They come and spend their hard-earned money to come and watch us, but that's the plan every week is to go out there and put on a show for them. We never intend to go out there and not light up the scoreboard or whatever it is on each side of the ball. So we obviously have a little bit more initiative. It's the last one, and we know it's the last one, which is not the way you want to end your regular season ever. But like I said, it is what it is. That's where we are right now. So we just got to put as good of a product out there on film as we can, and figure out the rest after.
What have you seen from Nate since he became the starter as far as his growth goes?
I mean, there's been some things that I've seen consistent that were good, and then there's some things that weren't as great, and then I've seen him transform and turn into strengths. He's done obviously a really good job of commanding the offense and staying poised. At no point have I really seen him too rattled. The game can be difficult, and it's not like it's easy all the time for him, but definitely seen his composure and his poise is one of the things that I've seen evolve. He was a little bit, not frantic, but you could see he was a rookie a little bit in the huddle before, and then that quickly changed as he got a little bit more confident and, a little bit more, experienced out there, and did a good job of just staying positive and keeping everybody's head up, throughout the entirety of the game.
You've had a voice in this organization since you came here. What type of input do you expect to have in terms of what they do with the coaching staff after this season?
I mean, we'll have conversations, obviously, same as, what we did before, and, we'll continue to try to figure out what's best for the team, and, I don't have any expectation, but we'll see what happens.
I think last week you said that AP made a lasting impression on you, starting back before he's even the coach when he spoke to the team. Aiden just said something really similar, that he made an impact on him when he spoke to the rookies. I know there's a lot that goes into coaching, but what makes him so good at connecting in that way and in the speeches and saying the right things to make an impact?
Well, just that experience, like I said before, a bunch of times having played, understanding where we come from, to be able to give a good assessment of the game, as far as our effort, whatever it is. Sometimes it's hard to really know if you don't, I can't go and see I can't tell you how hard a dog is going, because I don't know what it feels like to be a dog, and my version of being a dog, but not an actual dog. So it's hard to say, if that dog is not going hard enough. You don't know if that dog's tired or whatever the case is. So having played, you understand that part of it, and he just has a realistic approach and mindset of how the game is supposed to be played and what he expects from his players, and it's easy to get behind that.
Talking with every guy in the locker room, pretty much, they were endorsing AP, rightfully so. How important is it, just from regardless of who gets the job, to have a resounding yes and just that energy shift that's been pretty evident?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously who I wanted. That's my vote, and I've been vocal about that, and that's that's basically how the whole locker room feels, and with good reason. I mean, he's come in and done a great job, and he's continued to win us over. It's not just the comfortable thing. I think having AP here will be it'll be good for this organization. He kind of embodies what it means to be a Raider, and that mentality, that swag, and all the things that he endorses is the things that I believe in. So it's easy for a guy like me, especially having dealt with him a little bit this year now and gotten to know him and see his evolution, in front of the team, and all those things, all the different fields of being a head coach. So definitely rooting for him.
Davante, do you think, given that his defensive background as a defensive guy, that if he did get the opportunity to coach again the team next year, he'd grow a lot on the offensive side? And do you feel like you could be one of the voices that helps him in that regard?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it's been. That's been part of my role since I've been here. You know, even with Josh and Dave here running the thing. You know, it's been a part of my responsibility to teach guys and help. You know, with the scheme, whether it's trying to figure out ways to get me the ball or other people, whatever the case may be. So I would expect that would stay consistent, and you know, that's something that I enjoy, having that type of you know, impact or helping the team as much as I can.
Davante, those of us that know you're a man of character, integrity, you're not a BSer, you're genuine. That's AP. For how much does that relate to players, and is that why you think he's got such command of that locker room, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody who's a straight shooter doesn't really, you don't like a BS, or you don't want anybody's gonna get in there and blow smoke or whatever it is. You know, you call it how it is, and you know, you either like that or love that, and or love it or hate it. And for me, I want the people that loves it. Tell me exactly what you think, exactly what you feel. Keep it real about the situation that we're in and all that. And that's, like you said, that's who he is. So it makes it easy to be you know, to endorse that type of coach and that type of mindset when that's, you know, we all kind of carry that same type of you know, mentality.
Not necessarily in Aiden, but just in the offense as a whole, what's the biggest improvement you've noticed from week 1 to now?
I would just say the tenacity, the intention. You know, obviously for the most part, guys want to go out and do the right thing, but it's just a little bit more intentional this year, a little bit more gritty, you know, up front, a little nastier. Took care of a lot of the issues that people were expecting to be a problem for us. They went out and handled it and made sure that they weren't, or if they were before, you know, the second time around they were basically eliminated from the game. So having those type of, you know, knowing that you got to take a guy away on defense or, you know, whatever it is. And that's another piece, just our defense being as consistent as what they were this year. You know, that's it's one of the best defenses that I've gotten to play with. So it's exciting when you know, you can be carried by your D, and you know, hopefully that won't be the case moving forward. But still excited to know that they can go and hold it down for us.
In terms of this Sunday's game, since you haven't played the Broncos since week 1, do you look at more recent tape on games that they played, or do you look more at week 1?
A little bit of everything. It's a long week, a lot of tape to watch. So, you know, I watch all the games, not every single game, but I pick a certain amount that I want to, and you know, sometimes just goes off of who's on offense at certain ones. But definitely a peek back at the week 1 one. But a lot of things have changed with personnel. You know, guys are playing and not playing, so. You got to look at some recent stuff too.
Davante, in your opinion, where has AP grown the most as a head coach?
It's just a lot of different nuances that you know, you have to learn and get used to being a head coach. Just the way you have to lead a meeting, just the flow of being a head coach. A lot of things it's hard to even pinpoint exactly what to call it, but just the way he's commanded the team and you know, conducted himself in front of the team as far as, you know, after wins, losses, you know, it's not really a roller coaster. It's more off of the intention. You know, are we flying around? Are we, you know, assignment sound, all those type of things, versus just, you know, coming down and riding a roller coaster of wins and losses, which is, you know, something that he could easily stress over, knowing that it's important for him to win, you know, to keep a job. But he makes sure that he's got a certain level of security out there that you know, you can feel, and it's exciting to watch because you know, obviously you see the things that he's done with his team, and it's exciting for me to know what's to come.
And Davante, any thoughts on 4 consecutive seasons over 1,000 yards?
I mean, you never know how to respond in a time like this. You know, if we were in a better position as a team, you know, it'd be more enjoyable. But you know, obviously it's exciting to be able to. It's a good notch to be able to hit. But 1,000 yards is not really my mark for, you know, what I consider necessarily a good season. Obviously, it's good because in everybody else's mind it means so much. But I also had 2 seasons of 997, and they acted like I didn't have 1,000 yards that year. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. But I don't know what the mark is, honestly, but not 1,000, not with 17 games. But, you know, it is what it is, and it's good to, you know, I'm happy to have been healthy enough to play 17 games, you know, going on 17, and letting the good Lord take care of everything else.
obviously every season has a different story, but just to have kind of a similar record to last season, does it feel different that there was a sense of growth, kind of like a copy and paste? How would you?
There was growth. It was definitely a different feel than it was from last year. Even earlier in the year, a lot of things changed. A bunch of quarterbacks, and we had some big changes. A lot of things, and I'm proud of what this team was able to fight through. It seems like the Raiders are always fighting through some sort of something. Whether it's a player and something's going on, or coaching change, or whatever. But I'm proud of the way that these guys were able to rally, stay together, continue to play hard, get some meaningful wins, down the stretch. And it's not where we wanted to end up, but you can't cry over spilled milk. You just gotta go clean it up and figure it out after that.
There you guys have it. Our weekly Wednesday presser. A lot of good things out of Davante Adams, and I'm definitely looking forward to this game. Not as excited as I was, due to the circumstances, but I'm still looking forward to being out there. Definitely rooting our team on, rooting AP on, man. We got to get this win. I want AP to be here. And you heard what Davante Adams said as well. Like, he definitely wants him back as well. And clearly, Davante does not want to leave Las Vegas. So again, ESPN Radio New York, Davante Adams is not going anywhere. That's it. I'm going to wrap it up for now. We will be back 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific again. Mystery guest. Yeah, nobody seemed to figure out who it was either, so I'm cool with that. Like I said, I don't think it's somebody that's really going to shock many of you, but I still think it's going to be a really good show. Probably going to go back and forth, especially as it pertains to Aiden O'Connell and this season as well. You guys are not going to want to miss it again. 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We will be back. Special edition of Vault Talk. No, and salute to Mitch, by the way. Like, I gotta give him a call. It's been a minute since we've spoken. So salute to Mitch as well. Much love to you. Happy New Year to you and the family guy. Appreciate you, brother. And shout to Chugs as well, aka Peter Griffin. It's not a Raider player. No, it's not a Raider player. And no, I don't have that relationship, Taino. I've never had the opportunity to speak to that guy. So, but on your way out, guys, if you haven't already, do me a favor. These 3 simple things, and those new here, I'm gonna learn you real quick. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions in the house at Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID is back and on the rise. Remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. Peace, love, and positivity. I'm outro.